Welcome you all for the Believer Trader Education series. And here we are learning Candlestick Secrets Part 1, and we will look at basics and logics here. And terms will be used: long means buy, short means sells, bulls we are referring buyers, and bears means sellers. If we are taking a bullish sentiment, that is then this market is going up, and when we are taking a sentiment as a bearish, then market is going down. These are very important basic terms which will be kept in mind so that we in the further coming section we are using these terms importantly. And what is the price? Price is decided by the demand and supply in the market. Whenever the demand and supply imbalance occurs in the market, then the market will go and up and down. If demand increases the market, price will be increased and the buyers will start buying in the market. If oversupply happens, the price will fall and the obviously resistance level will be created in the market. Whenever we are talking about market going up means demand is increasing. Whenever market is going down means we are talking about supply. Here we will continue with the candlestick pattern that we are referring only red candle means bearish sentiment in the market and green candle for a bullish sentiment. Whenever the market is going upside, it will be denoted by the green candle, and open will be looked at the downside and close will be at the high means the candle is closed in a green. We are referring it as a normal bullish candlestick pattern. And whenever the market is showing that open is at the high and closing at the low, then the candle is shown in the red candle and we are having the bearish sentiment for the market. Here we have some bullish candlesticks patterns. We will study those patterns one by one. We have here the green candle which is showing having the open at the low and closing at the high means the whenever the price moves from low level to high level, and then we are referring this as a complete candle which has closed at the end of the high, then we are referring this as a Moroboju, we can say as a term. In the second pattern, we can see that high is at the upper level and closed at this level and open here and low is here. That means that sellers and buyers fight has made the almost green candle. We can see that this is also normal bullish candle we can observe. So I am jumping for the fourth type of example where we can see this hammer kind of a pattern where the sellers have stepped in the first, and thereafter that the bullish sentiments continued and closed at the upper side. And in the third type of a candle example, we can see that open even though it has made low and went upside, but continued pressure by the sellers had made a tail on the upper side. We can easily observe this is completely looking like a reversed hammer. And if I'm to observe to take a trade, I will be taking the trades in 1, 2, 4 patterns, not in the third, because of a seller's presence of 80%. Here we have some wide variety of bullish candlesticks patterns where we are seeing that wide range candle and narrow range candles. During trade, these are to be observed that whether the candle is wide range or normal range or in a normal kind of a structure. Okay, in the first 2, 3, 4 examples here, if I do observe take a trade, I will be taking these trades because the close is at the high of the market. And in the this candle pattern is a neutral one. If I do observe take a trade, I will be taking above this one because of presence of sellers. And here I am showing us an example about a decline in bullish price. If I do observe first 2, 3, 4 candles, here we'll have a lot of sellers rather than comparing to these one. So if I do observe any examples of taking a trade, I will be taking a normal bullish rise to take a trade in a bullish position, not in this kind of a sense because the bearish presence in the market. Here we look at a bullish candlesticks pattern where the opening is at the high and closing at the low. And here I'm completely observing that if I do selling the market, then the price is decreasing from high to low, which is closing at completely at low, means we are having a open at high and closing at the low. Here we are denoting with a red candle and closing with a Moroboju kind of a structure. And the second candle here also you can observe that open is here and it went upside and made high here and closed somewhere low, and it is also normal candlesticks pattern of a low. And here I have the third strand of structure, that we have a very strong bearish sentiment in the market because buyers were kicked out by the sellers with a huge tail at the upper side. And in the fourth candle, I will not be observing this as a bearish sentiment candle, though the body is shown in the red color, because the bullish sentiment is at the low level. That is why the tail is can be looked at the downside. We have some same variety of bearish candlesticks patterns here, wide range and narrow range candles, and the same normal bearish rise, and here decline in bearish price. If you do observe, take any selling positions, do observe in normal bearish rise patterns rather than taking the decline in bearish price, because if you do observe here that bullish presence is continuously increasing the market. We have some candlestick pressure patterns here. Some selling pressure, if you do observe this one, that tailwind has happened at the upper one and close is at the low. Color doesn't matter, but pressure is has to be matter way to take a position in this kind of a structure. That here we have buying pressure on the downside, we have to take a buy position above this one, sell position below this one. The same way we have showing in the red color, that which is having a bearish sentiment in the first one and a bullish sentiment in the second one. Okay, we will take some brief examples how to take a bullish and bearish trades using these candlesticks patterns. Here in the first example, I am clearly observing that this bullish bearish candle is completely engulfed, means completely enclosed by this bullish engulfing candle, which means that bullish sentiment is about to continue. And if I do take any examples, or if I do take any trade, I'll be taking above this one. In the second example, 1 2 3 candles are showing with us. First three candles we are having a bearish sentiment which is engulfed by this one whole bullish sentiment, which is showing us that bullish continuation. The third example, if I do observe, this wide range candle has opened in the beginning and the narrow range candle, and thereafter that, and bearish presence is can be seen in third and fourth one. But in the fourth candle, if I do observe that the bullish sentiment is even though presence, and even after that it is having a close of green candle with engulfing of all these price structure, which confirms that bullish continuation. In the fourth example, okay, even 1 2 3 3 candles we have shown that there is a bearish presence, but the only candle which engulfed the almost 80% of the price action of the sellers, which ensures that there is a still bullish presence in the market. The same way we are taking bearish sentiment trades using the engulfing patterns here. If I do observe the last example we have shown in the bullish, same way the bullish sentiment is engulfed by the bearish candle, which ensures that below this level the market will move downside drastically. And in the third example, if I do observe that, but I will be observing this one is a weak selling because it's having a huge amount of bullish presence here. But in second, third, and fourth candles are showing a narrow range candles, which is confirming that there is a weak kind of a sellers. And in the second example, I'm observing that first wide range candle, thereafter that sellers have stepped in the market, and in third and fourth there was some fight as the bullish presence was having a lot of a pressure, and thereafter that it has went upside, but immediately pressured by the seller and has closed below the open, which is confirms that bearish sentiment will be continued in the market. In the first example, I do observe the same things, that the hammer has made, and the second is a reverse hammer, and there is an indecision candle, and thereafter that some green candle. But only candle which is to be observed here for the beginners is that the bullish or bearish sentiment enclosure. In this example, I can see that enclosure of this bearish sentiment has confirmed that this all price action of buyers will be in the trap and will be bearish sentiment will be continued below this level. Here we look at some example of a bullish and bearish engulfing patterns. We do observe and trade on that basis only. Here in this example, the bearish sentiment is completely engulfed by this only one candle, which ensured the market to go upside. In the second example, I do observe that the bullish sentiment is at the sideway and it is engulfed by the first candle. If you do observe the tailwinds on the downside, which is confirming that there is some still a bullish presence in the market. But if I do take up trade, I will be taking the third candle because this confirms that bearish presence in the market, which closes at the deep end of the low, and below this level the market has gone down drastically. We will look at some examples and we will observe some bullish and bearish engulfing patterns and we will work on those. If I do observe in a Grasim chart, I will be observing here that the bearish sentiment is engulfed by this candle, which ensured that above this level the bullish sentiment is about to be continued and it went upside. And if I do observe here that the engulfing above these buyers is engulfed by only one candle here, but the market has not gone downside, because if I do observe the market has, if market is going downside below this level, then only my short positions will be initiated. Here I have one more example that a bearish sentiment is arrested by the buyers with a huge buying candle here, which ensure that market is having a bullish presence and it has continued some time. If you do observe one more candlesticks pattern here, is that engulfing has been done by this candle. Below this level the market has taken for about 1413 to 1356. So we have today observed about the candlesticks pattern secrets number one. When we have discussed about basics and logics, where are the important levels to be observed, and we have just discussed about engulfing patterns. In the next part we are looking at price momentum and trend lines, either they are aggressive, moderate and flat, and simple patterns, and finding the continuation of trend. And if you do like this video, please share, subscribe and motivate us in doing such a videos. Thank you.